I'm learning from the greats. That's going to be a really hard speech to follow. Oh my God, Rashid Tlaib. Give it up for Rashid Tlaib one more time. I don't like a lot of politicians, as you guys probably know, but I mean, we have a really solid crew tonight. We got Rashid Tlaib, Summerly, Abdul El-Sayed, and obviously, little old me. Regardless of the fact that I wasn't even supposed to be here tonight. I think you guys know this already. For the past 38 days, Operation Epstein's Fury has been continuing by a bunch of fascist monsters that got tuned up by Israel, where Donald Trump basically was the first and hopefully last ever president that would be foolish enough to be at the mercy of Benjamin Netanyahu, to follow through on his lifelong project of continuing his death and destruction campaign. And a lot of the people that are on the Republican side, the reactionary side, they, instead of talking about that, decided to talk about me and stumping for Abdul El-Sayed instead. That's what they did for the past 2 weeks. Apparently today, Fox News had 6 different shows where they talked about Dr. Abdul El-Sayed. To all of them I say, they are united in their hatred of not just me, but all of us, and I welcome their hatred. Every single person in here, myself included, saw heinous war crimes take place every single day for the past 2.5 years. And we didn't stand idly by, we spoke out. And in the beginning, it was a lot lonelier when we spoke out. They used the same exact heinous smears. They said, you're anti-Semitic. They said, you are a radical Islamist, you're a radical fundamentalist, but also really woke at the same time. Doesn't really make sense. And back then, I felt a lot lonelier, but I don't feel lonely anymore. But obviously, the very same forces, the very same perverse forces that have taken your tax dollars and chosen to use that on death and destruction campaigns and endless militarism overseas are still very much in charge. And our job is not done. Our job is not done. And that's precisely the reason why I'm honored to be standing alongside the likes of Abdul El-Sayed with the hopes that we can bring him into the Senate so we can be a real fighter for truth, a fighter for justice, and a fighter for all of you in here. For the past couple of years, we've seen defeat after defeat, both electorally, and it's created a lot of apathy. And a lot of people say, Hasan, how do you combat the nihilism? And I keep telling people, we have to maintain revolutionary optimism. Slowly but surely, holding on to the little victories of being able to convince a loved one on an issue that you care for, the little victories of being able to go out and door knock and potentially secure a vote for a candidate that you believe in, little victories when you phone bank for someone like Dr. Abdul El-Sayed, and hopefully a big victory of finally bringing in a responsive congressperson, a responsive senator who will fight for Medicare for all, and will fight for justice, and will not compromise to corporations and their malignant influence on American politics. Just as you all came out here to show your support and to hear from us, we're going to need all the help we can get. So I want every single person in here, every single HasanAbi head in here especially, to do everything in their power to convince others that we're done. Business as usual politics is over. This is how we win. We united, we are strong. Divided, we beg, but united, we have power. And they know that we have power. And that's precisely the reason why many of those same corporate lobbyists and foreign lobbyists have spent the last 2 weeks trying to stop this event from taking place, claiming that people like yourself and your interests and your values should not be represented by our politicians. But we're done with that. There's a big battle brewing. There's a battle brewing. A battle brewing against not only the corrupt fascist forces of the Republican Party, but also against do-nothing Democrats that would rather sit there and collect paycheck after paycheck and fundraise for corporate donors that put your interests second to the interests of those very same corporations that poison your water as they sit idly by, that make sure that every single piece of productive output of the wealthiest nation on earth goes back to our massive military-industrial complex that only brings about death and destruction overseas. Because remember, every single dollar that is spent on a bomb is stolen from each and every one of you. Because that's a dollar that they spend blowing up a school overseas instead of building schools in your neighborhood. And if you want to put an end to the politics of corruption, you have to let your voices be heard. Not only organize in your workplaces, not only organize with your communities, but also organize to get responsive politicians elected. And that's precisely what Dr. Abdul El-Sayed is. He's here for you. As Rashid Tlaib said, you're not going to have to worry about having a politician that actually fights for your values. Wouldn't that be nice? For once. There's like a handful of them. I was looking earlier on my way over here. There was a new Pew Center study came out. 52% of Democrats that are under the age of 49 say that the issue of Israel and Palestine is very important for them. And among them, 80% sympathize with Palestinians over Israel. 80%. So why is it that if the base of the party is looking at this as a 90-10 issue, and yet the politicians reflect the inverse of those numbers? I look at Congress and I see it flipped. There's only a handful of Democrats that are actually outspoken on this atrocity, outspoken on the relationship that we have with a foreign country that we simply always have to send unlimited billions of dollars to. A country that has health care, mind you. You do not, but Israel has free health care. Yeah, you're right. We do pay for it. They don't want politicians to be responsive to your needs. They do not want a real democratic approach. And I fear that if we continue along this trajectory, we're not only going to lose democracy altogether, we're going to be heading down a very dangerous path. We're already in it. Fascism is here. Masked thugs, unaccountable to no one, unelected, ripping apart your neighborhoods. But there is power in numbers. We are strong when we are united, and I saw that with my own 2 eyes in Minneapolis. So I want to leave it on a positive note. Let the actions in community organizing that took place in Minneapolis lead the way for all of us. We all have a role to play here. You all have a role to play here, no matter how small it may seem. It could be $1 here and there to give to a candidate that you know is going to get hammered by AIPAC dollars. It could be phone banking. It could be demonstrating. We must not give up. And if you cannot maintain revolutionary optimism, when you feel really sad, when you feel really angry, remind yourself of the worst fascist that you know. It could be Donald Trump, it could be Rabbi Shmuley. They're going to be very excited if you stop fighting. So we cannot fight it, but we cannot stop fighting. Let's fight. Breathe life back into your movement. Because remember, none of us are free until all of us are free. Free Palestine.
Let's hear it for Hasan!
Are you coming this way?
All right, folks, let's take our next speaker. A very warm welcome. Raise those signs, put your hands together for a true champion for working people, Pennsylvania Congresswoman Summer Lee!
Ready to get speech mobbed?
I know.
Michigan, what's up? I need that championship interview today because I heard that y'all won something. Congratulations, that's big. And let me just say, I am proud to be here in the next big fight that we have. So I hope that all the energy that y'all might have used up through the season and last night, that y'all saved something up, y'all, because we have big fights ahead of us. But first of all, thank you all for being here today. I'm Summer Lee, and I came all the way from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I do not always campaign for people, but I am proud to finally have a reason to be out here campaigning for something, someone that I believe in. And I hope and I know that you all are here too, because we have a stake in this fight. Y'all, I know you listen to all of our other speakers. And you might have watched the news all week or been on social media. Listen, there were a lot of people who did not want us to be here with y'all today. It's folks who don't want us talking to people who might rock the boat. They don't want us to be in rooms of people who make them uncomfortable. But the reality is, and I said it earlier today and I mean it now, we are in the most powerful space in America. And it's important that you all know that. That you all know how powerful you are in this moment. Let me just a little bit about me, because I know that I'm new to Michigan, guys. This is only my second time and second day ever being in Michigan. But what I know is that whether you're in Michigan, or if you're in Western Pennsylvania where I grew up, or if you're anywhere else in the country, that we know what it feels like to have to fight for everything that we have. We know what it, some of us, I'm one of those folks who knows what it feels like to come from the working class for real. I come from family that helped to build this country with our labor. I come from folks who have built this country with our unpaid labor. And we know that we deserve, whether you are in Detroit or Lansing or Ann Arbor or Pittsburgh or Philly, that we deserve clean air and clean water. That in the wealthiest nation on earth, every single person here should be able to go to a doctor when they have a sickness, or you should be able to go to a school where you don't have to mortgage your life to pay for the rest of your days. That we deserve to live in a country that says that we should have a home, a country that says that we won't look at our homeless folks and say that there's nothing we can do for them. I'm tired of living in a country where we're supposed to believe that certain people can get more and more and more, and you and I and us, wherever we are, we're supposed to just accept that this is all we can get. But I'm here today to tell you that that's a lie. That's a lie. We will have so much more, and that's why it's so important. And let me tell you, young people, I know what you're up against. My sister Rashida talked about it. I'll talk about it. We talk about it all the time. We're here from real lived experience. Right. I'm gonna take it for granted. I'm probably the comfort person that has the highest student loan debt in this country. I'm somebody who came from very little and made it here. It wasn't by happenstance. We worked hard to get to where we are. I don't talk to students and talk down to students because I don't think they're ready. I come and talk to students because I know that you all have experiences and perspectives that are so important to our democracy and so left out that I refuse, and we should all refuse, to not come directly to you and hear what you have to say. Right now, children in Gaza, or crisis where we starve children in Africa. We've done crisis after crisis. We've had more to come. If we don't stand up and take a stance right now, I'm here because we can build a positive vision for what this country will be next. So let's get into it. Because there is a great force right now that wants to make you believe that there is nothing that you can do about what this world is becoming. They want you to believe that you can't affect the change that you deserve to see in our Congress or anywhere else. They want you to be hopeless and helpless and angry. But I'll tell you what, I've actually been to a lot of places and I don't see apathy where I go. I see people who have been squeezed. I see people who have been ignored. I see people who are tired. I see people who have tried and they showed up. I see people who want better for each other. And then I see other people who are fighting like hell to make you feel like your enemy is sitting next to you. That your enemy is somebody who worships differently than you are, or looks differently than you are, comes from a different socioeconomic status than you, unless they are corporate class, and that is your enemy. They only have the politics of fear and division and destruction and disruption. They need us to keep our focus away from the people who have participated in the biggest sex trafficking ring in our country. Like we can't do anything. They need you to feel like you can't win. I need you to instead lead and learn and live in your power. I'm here today because who makes up and who sits in our Senate matters. And you deserve to have a fighter in Michigan in our country that will work every day until every person has health care. You deserve a fighter who will get money out of politics. So it doesn't matter what APAC has to say, and it doesn't matter what AI has to say, but it matters what you have to say. You deserve a fighter in the Senate who will show up every day and be courageous when the cameras are on or off. That when you walk in the room, you know where he stands because he's always stood there. And because he comes every single time with the same energy. You can have someone in the Senate who doesn't kowtow to the corporations or the corporate PACs or the do-nothings, that they can reflect your actual visions and ideas for this country. Right now, we have something to fight for. So right now, I'm not asking you here to believe in us. I'm asking you to vote for Abdul, yes, absolutely. But I am saying that I need you to believe in you. I need you to believe in how powerful we are as a collective. I need you to understand our history, because here on college campuses, worlds have been reshaped and rebuilt and rearranged over and over and over. We see that anytime our country is in a problem, the solution is on your college campuses. That anytime our country needs courage and clarity, the solution is in these lecture halls. That you guys don't have to wait until tomorrow to walk into your power, and that's why they're afraid. So I'm saying, walk in your power right now. That your fight to demand more is seen and heard here in this Senate campaign. And that we need you to not relent. I always say that we need to stay in fighting terms. We are in authoritarianism. We are. And it doesn't give us anything to ignore or believe. Our president woke up today and said that, gleefully tweeted out that he's going to commit a genocide. Things aren't okay. But right now, we have to fight just as hard as they are fighting to build the world that they're trying to build. We know who they're trying to build for. They want a country that reflects only them, that cares only about them. And if we care about building a new world, it's time to stop saying that a better world is possible, and it's time to start building that better world. It's time to start standing up for that better world. So right now, I need you to help us in Congress bring somebody who's going to build that world with you, for you. I need you all. I need you all to look all the people, all the naysayers in the face and say, actually, no, we won't stay at home. Actually, no, we won't shut up. Actually, no, we won't sit down, even as you're sitting down. Because you guys are worth fighting for right now. So listen, if you guys are ready to accept that it is all of our responsibility, and not only that, it's within all of our power to build this better world, that I need you to actually be up, be on fire, and have a championship energy. Because let me tell you something, it ain't going to be easy to get our brother into the Senate. There are a lot of people who don't want people instead of talking about Medicare for all. They don't want us to talk about clean air and clean water. They don't want us to end endless wars. They don't want us to love our neighbor. They don't want us to build affordable housing. They don't want us to raise the wage. They don't want us to fight for union labor in Michigan. They don't want us to feel bold and empowered, but we're going to be there anyways. Be there anyways. So right now, I am asking you all to fight for like hell, not for Abdul and not for me. I'm asking you to fight like hell for yourself. I'm asking you to ask yourself, what does your neighbor need? What does the person who is the most vulnerable in your life need right now? And I need us to go and fight for it. I need us to look MAGA or anybody else, corporate guns in the eye and say that we believe so much in what we are fighting for that we'll go toe to toe with you. So if you feel that way, don't leave here today and just get a selfie. Don't leave here today and just record the speeches. Speeches are great. I need you to leave here today and make more believers of the world. I need you to go through our campus. I need you to talk to everybody you know and tell them about what Abdul El-Sayed is here to deliver for us. I need you to call your family and tell them what corporate democracy has led us to. I need you to call your younger siblings or your older ones and tell them that it's our time to shake the next world and build it right up. So I need you to knock on your doors. Guess who can't get on the college campuses? All types of campaigns. You're already here. So I need you to, when you're out and you're at the cafeteria or you're at, maybe not at the party, have your time. But wherever you are, from today until August, what day? 4th. August 4th until November 3rd. I need you all to fight like hell for yourselves. Make sure that we're sitting for champions. Don't wake up the day after and say, I wish I could have, I wish I would have, I should have. Say, I did it, I stood strong, and I'm feeling this pressure right now because it's not a shit. So thank you all so much for being with us today. Please, please, please remember that the power of the people is always, always, always greater than the people in power, but only if you will it. So, will that power back?
Let's hear it for Senator Lee! All right, folks. It's time to raise your signs high, put your hands together, and really make some noise for our final speaker for the evening, the next senator from Michigan, Dr. Abdul El-Sayed!
That's okay.
How about the Wolverines?
Is great to be a Michigan Wolverine 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 is right. National champion, baby.
I don't have
I
most
think
of
I'm
them.
also big winners out of Michigan, huh? Now, I gotta tell you what I'm about. Money out of? Pocket! Money in your? Pocket! What you care for? Money out of? Pocket! Money in your? Pocket! What you care for? That's right. My name is Abdul El-Sayed, and I got no business running for U.S. Senate. At least that's what they tell me. They also told me I got no business having a conversation with all of you. They tell me I got no business having a meeting with somebody like Hasan or Summer Lee or Rashida. Whether you're talking about West Ann Arbor with Yusuf, or you're talking about West LA with Hasan, or you're talking about West PA with Summer, or you're talking about the West in general, we've got an opportunity to change the face of American politics, and we will not back down. We will not back down. I'm never supposed to run for public office. I pray the wrong way. I got the wrong skin color. I come from the wrong part of the world. I wanted to be a doctor. I will tell you why. I could go 15 hours from where I grew up to my family's native region. I crossed a 10-year life expectancy gap. I saw that imprinted in the lives of the people I loved. My grandmother lost 2 babies before their first birthday. I didn't have to go 15 hours. I could go 15 minutes from where I grew up in the city of Detroit, and I could cross the same 10-year life expectancy gap. And y'all, it shouldn't matter the color of your skin, it shouldn't matter what your parents do for work, it shouldn't matter where you live, you should have a long, healthy life in these United States of America. And I became a doctor to do something about it. And in my final year of medical school, I came to realize that the healthcare system I was training to be a part of wasn't just not part of the solution, too often it was part of the problem. Chewing up and spitting people out simply because they couldn't get monetized enough to feed the CEOs of the pharmaceuticals or the hospitals or the insurance companies that have sicked their tentacles on our healthcare system and monetized us because we dare to get sick. I decided instead to go to public health. I got the opportunity to read public health. There it is. Got to rebuild Detroit's health department after the state of Michigan moved through the city, forced it into bankruptcy, forced it to shut down a 185-year-old health department in a city with a higher infant mortality rate than my father's native Egypt. We rebuilt it around kids. We did things like guarantee every child a free pair of glasses delivered at school within 2 weeks of a vision test. A program that's done 50,000 pairs of glasses across our state. When she was able, Marathon Petroleum wanted to raise their emissions of sulfur dioxide. We stood up and said enough is enough. We forced them to invest their own money to reduce their emissions when they had wanted to increase it. Put air quality monitors all over our county so those who can find information on air pollution. Mike Rogers, when he was in Congress, he helped to pass through the most damaging pro-opioid legislation in American history. Led to millions of people dying. You know what he got on the back end? They gave him a $14 million payout when he finally retired and moved to Florida to finally get what it was that they were paying off people. We put Narcan, life-saving anti-overdose medication, in vending machines for free in 100 locations across our country. I'm never going to forget that experience, watching what was happening and thinking that our kids in the city of Detroit would be exposed to the same lead we were hearing about in the place where we systematically concentrate our most vulnerable people for most of the day, most of the year in their schools. So we had every school, daycare, and Head Start tested for lead in the water. In the first 68 schools we tested, 19 of them tested positive for lead. Got them on the pathway to being lead-free, got to work with folks like Dr. Mona to help rewrite the state's lead policy after that. And when we found out that Wayne County ranked number 8
for medical debt nationwide, with a whopping $700 million of medical debt. We realized we could eliminate it for pennies on the dollar, so guess what we did? We eliminated it for pennies on the dollar. I'm never going to forget that day. Sitting in my office, when this administration decided to freeze federal funds. Y'all remember that? I'm sitting there looking at all the line items they've just frozen in my budget. Food on the table for moms and babies through WIC. The last line of healthcare defense through federally qualified health centers. Vaccines, froze all of them. And I'm sitting at my office, and I get a push notification to my phone. And I learned that day that after his long career, our current U.S. Senator is not seeking re-election, that there's going to be an open U.S. Senate seat. And I had to ask myself, where is the fight for the public's health now? And I believe that fight should take us all the way to the U.S. Senate. I don't know if you remember, but the first text message I got was from our sister Rashida. Habibi, this one looks like yours. That's because I'm not new to this. I ran for governor back in 2018. I was 32, I had no clue what I was doing. Trump just didn't like it. I said, you know what, I'm going to go big or go home. I went big and then I went home. But not after taking 340,000 votes. We ran a campaign on ideas and ideals. I said something at the time folks weren't quite ready to hear, which is that Donald Trump himself is not the disease of our politics. He's just the worst symptom of the disease of our politics. The disease is the system of corporations and billionaires and special interests who will buy and sell politicians who do their bidding. It's the reason that we pay more for the stuff we gotta buy and get paid less for the work that we do. It's the reason that they misappropriate our tax dollars to go and drop bombs on other kids and their schools and their hospitals, rather than building schools and hospitals for our own kids right here in Michigan. For years we dealt with the symptoms, but we never dealt with the disease. And in this election here right now, we have a choice about whether or not we are willing to stand up against that disease of our politics, to take on corporations where we find them to do our bidding in our politics rather than theirs. It is no longer appropriate for them to pick our pockets simply because we got sick. It is no longer going to be acceptable for DTE to raise our rates faster than 46 other states. And no longer are we going to sit idly by while AIPAC tells us that the number one goal of our foreign policy is to align with a foreign government. You know, when I talk about AIPAC, everybody says, well, because you're Arab. No, it's not.
Fuck AIPAC.
It's because I'm fucking from Michigan. And I don't want my tax dollars spent in Michigan. Protecting Michigan kids. Providing Michigan health care. It's the Michigan road. It's the Michigan school. Now, I want to be absolutely clear about one thing. This is a movement built on our love for people. All of us love and revere Jewish folk, our Jewish neighbors, the faith of Judaism.
Yes.
And trust me, nobody will fight harder against anti-Semitism than somebody who intimately understands what it's like to be discriminated against because of how I pray.
Yep.
But that love and reverence for the Jewish people is founded in a love and reverence for all people. So how dare I say that I love the Jewish people without standing up against the genocide against Palestinian people? Because at the end of the day, it is the same love that should move us to stand when we see injustice against Palestinians, that should also move us to stand up when we see injustice against Jewish folk. It is the same love for humanity.
supporting Israel were going to be protesting us. But I'll tell you this, at the end of the day, they would be welcome here. Because at the end of the day, we believe in the courage of our convictions and our ideals. We believe in the ability to actually have a discussion about the kind of politics we want. Because at the end of the day, for me, all of us should be in the business of supporting America.
Yes.
And that is the working for us. And in America, we believe that it should be one person, one vote, not $100 million corrupting our entire politics because AIPAC said so. AIPAC told me, right, they told all the friends in the memo they circulated that Abdul El-Sayed is the single most dangerous candidate in the 2026 election cycle for the U.S.-Israel relationship. I wish they would have made me a shirt. I would wear it for them. I don't know about you. I don't spend my tax dollars. I don't pay taxes. I don't pay taxes, so another country gets a tank or a bomb. I pay my taxes, so our kids get schools and healthcare. Everybody asks, why are you always talking about AIPAC? Well, because they're going to be the biggest spender in this entire race. You know, if you want to win the argument, win the argument. But don't pretend that somehow this is a fair fight. When you're willing to stack $100 million of cash that gets funneled into, you name the super PAC, to run ads that have nothing to do with your central issue, you have decided that you've already lost the argument and it doesn't matter. And to me, I studied in these halls. I learned about a democracy that was built about having a persuasive discussion about the kind of America we need and deserve. You know what they didn't tell me? That $100 million super PAC is going to come and drop attack ad after attack ad after attack ad. I'll tell you this though, there is one upside. I'm a hairy dude, okay? And, the one thing you're supposed to have as a hairy dude is a nice beard. And I was never gifted with that. But for 3 months, this summer, AIPAC's about to give me the beard in my dreams. He's so lined up. Alright, turn down the volume. I think that's the beard I could have had. Who knew it took AIPAC to give it to me? $100 million beard! You gotta have one business. Now look, I want to talk about some issues today. I had the privilege of being invited to Minneapolis at the height of Project Metro Surge. I went because I wanted to stand in solidarity with the people of Minneapolis. And I wanted to understand what it looks like when our government spends $185 billion, which, by the way, is bigger than the budget of the FBI. It is bigger than the budget of the U.S. Marines. Spent that much money to weaponize itself against the Constitution and lay siege to a city in our own country. And the people I met there, they had courage about them. I met a guy, he was in full-on hunting gear, real true. And I asked him, I said, well, you know, have you done this before? He said, no, I've never done this before. I said, who did you vote for? He said, Trump, twice. I said, well, why are you here? He said, because I never knew it would get to this. And he taught me 2 things that I hope we all take with us. Number 1, people have the immense capacity for change. And number 2, that when faced with injustice, people are willing to do extraordinary things. And I'll tell you the story and I'll share it here. Because I want to contrast his bravery. It takes a lot to say that you were wrong. It does. I want to contrast his bravery with politicians
politicians who tell us that we can reform or retrain ICE. Have you ever thought about like, what that would actually mean? Maybe it's because I actually ran government agencies that I understand that you cannot reform this. Like, how do you teach somebody who was willing to use a child as bait that that's wrong? Like, can you imagine the PowerPoint slide? Like, what's on the slide? You have the kid and then you have that one of those big circles with a slash in it. Don't take the kid. I'm so sorry, but if you're willing to use a child as bait, you do not belong in the U.S. government. ICE cannot be reformed. ICE cannot be reclaimed. ICE will be a law. And just this morning, I don't know if you've been watching the Twitters, but apparently the most important thing happening on Twitter was whether or not we were going to campaign with Hasan. Our president is waging a genocidal, illegal, unjustifiable war in Iran that is torching our tax dollars to the tune of $1.5 billion a day, spiking our gas. That was the most humorous thing I've ever heard. I'm sorry, so what are the error bars? And I don't know what you feel about these things. I paid an extra $20. And just this morning, the president talks about wiping out the whole civilization. Now, I don't know about you, but like, when I heard that comment, the first thing I thought about was my kids. I have two little girls, ethnically half Egyptian, ethnically half Indian. They get their lips from their mom, thank God. 100% American. And I would do anything for those little girls. The people in Iran would do anything for their kids. 93 million people, conservatively. 30 million of them are children. And this guy is talking about a genocide of 93 million people, 30 million children. And somehow Fox News found it fit to cover this rally 6 fucking times. And not talk about the fact that the president wants to commit a genocide in Iran. Here's the thing. This is the thing that gets me the most. I understand that guy is a narcissist with no functional mental capacity. I understand that he does stupid shit every day. I also understand he's got a weird obsession with grapes. But what kills me the most is when members of my own party want to do this doublespeak, where they talk about, well, it's an illegal war, but if they ask me for funding, how would they vote for funding? It's either illegal and you wouldn't fund it, or you think it's perfectly legal and agree with it. But stop playing games. Don't lie us. We have to believe that we can move past this. I told you about my little girls. One of the hardest things about doing this is I'm gone all the time. I got to spend a couple of days with them on end in the last 3 days, and one of the hardest parts about it is it took my daughter a couple of days to stop asking when I was going to leave. And we got home, and I had to tell her, my 3-year-old, today I'm going to not be here when you come home. And she said, today's the day you're going to leave? I said, yeah, today's the day I'm going to leave. But I'll come home, inshallah. And the only reason that you can justify that is because you believe that you are building something that is worthy of those kids. That's all I do. I can't go and call myself young anymore. Okay? I'm about 41 years old. Once you get that 4, go on. Okay? but I don't know what it was like to be young. And this weird thing that older people do, which is they think that young people should know what it's like to be older. Which is ridiculous, because y'all never been old. But we've been young. And I remember what it felt like to be young, the endless possibility of a life in front of me. And I was blessed to be young at a time when our politics looked somewhat hopeful. If you're 25 right now, you're born in the year 2000. I'm glad you're happy about it. And I just can't imagine the sum total of your lived experience in this place. I mean, when you were 8 years old, you either lost your home or you watched a family near you lose their home in the worst financial crisis, for which the banks who caused it paid nothing. You have been alive with the internet existing your whole life. I don't know how Hasan does it, but like, the internet sucks your eyeballs and eardrums. And you had to live in that reality forever. You were what, 10? 15, when Donald Trump came down that hideous escalator? He's been a fixture in your politics ever since. And before that, you have to tell people, you have to watch people, and tell people that they got fired from a job they never had. You have been alive for wars almost your entire life. And we're yet again fighting another one. I understand the nihilism. For every one of you who's here, God bless you. I know you know 10 other people who will be caught dead in a political rally. Belief itself is an act of hope. I can't promise you that it will win, but I can promise you that someday there will be someone you look in the eye like I look those little girls in the eye, and you will want to tell them what you did when democracy was at risk. You will want them to know how hard you worked so that they can have a better life than you did. And my ask is, I want you to think about that. And I want you to picture that conversation that you have one day, and I want you to put all of yourself into this. Because we may not win, but for damn sure, if we don't try, we will lose. And look, winning is right there. We live at the golden edge of a horizon of our own making. We need to choose every day whether or not we want to forge that for ourselves and for the people we leave after us. And I'm asking you, we are going to put all of ourselves into these next 4 months and the next 3 months after that and the 6 years that come after that. I'm asking you to join us. I'm asking you to join us for the people that you will leave behind. I'm asking you to join us for the people who you are here with. We can have nice things, we just can't do it alone. That's the choice we have in front of us. Now look, I know the forces are arrayed against us. I know that they think that they can pound us into oblivion. I know they think that if they pressure us, that we're going to back down. But guess what? We don't back down. When they tell us we can't get super PAC money out of our politics, we don't back down. When they tell us that we cannot stand in our union sisters and brothers, we don't back down. When they tell us we can't guarantee health care in the richest, most powerful country in the world, we don't back down. When they tell us that we cannot stand up against stupid, endless wars, we don't back down. When they tell us that we cannot stand up and abolish ICE, we don't back down. When they tell us that we can't build an economy that includes all
walk out too fast?
No, you're fine.
Oh, okay.
We can go ahead and head back to the green room.
Alright. I'll follow you.
Alright.
Only press, but I
What's going on? I tried to bring up the energy this time because I knew you were coming up after me. Obviously can't hold a candle. I mean, oh God, it was another incredible speech.
We're just telling people the truth. It's easy to do that, right?
It's true.
It's easy to do that.
Is it behind us?
Who knows?
He's probably crowd surfing right now.
He's literally shaking every individual hand.
Yeah.
He's the people's man.
This way. Right? Yeah. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember.
Pack's at like 10%. I gotta swap that battery.
Oh yeah. Well, it's been charging, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You go do that. I'm gonna pee real quick before the press.
Okay. It's just you and me, chat. I think it's this room. Right? Oh, I knew that. And I knew that. It's this room. Yeah, the blind leading the blind, truly. Like that, chat? He's in the bathroom. He has a small bladder. Everybody says it.
Everybody comes at him?
Everybody says that.
You guys, so you're off? No streaming?
No, I'm still live.
Oh, okay, I figured.
It never ends.
I got all these personal questions that I want to ask you.
It's okay. We're an open book here.
Hey, how'd we do?
You guys didn't even come up here.
Let's hope everyone around me realizes they're still on the hotline.
Yes. All right, we're gonna do this kind of alignment and have something that's way more space.
Yeah.
Tell them what you do. It's not on yet.
All right, we can have press come up here. You have a green dot on your pass. We're going to start with you.
Never know what I say.
No, it's too late. I told us to drink.
Alright, Jen, I'm talking to you. Keeping you guys company while our piss baby streamer has to go empty his little tiny. Oh, it's so dark.
How many batteries do you go through? Dead.
We've been chaining off of the wall. I've been having to charge these like every time there's this, because we only have 3, and so they. But we made it. We made it. We've been going for like 6 hours.
Nice.
This is longer than we usually go on the IRL portion. I'm March, by the way.
What is your name?
March.
March, Nick. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Nick.
Yeah, actually, because I'm with the New York Times. Do you mind if I get your name just for any photos that you're in?
Any photos that I'm in? Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
Is it just like the month?
March with an E at the end.
March, with an E at the end, and your last name?
Miranda, M-I-R-A-N-D-A.
And how long have you been the videographer? Is that the right title you use?
Producer, cam op for Hasan.
Producer
handler.
/ camera operator?
Yeah, for about 3 years now.
Cool.
We're still waiting on Abdul, so we got like 2 seconds.
Oh, he's not here yet. Okay.
And just making sure that looks good.
That's good.
Cool.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
March.
Of course. Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Yes.
You good?
I'm on it.
All right.
All right. Interviews time. Excuse me, guys.
I tried.
Excuse me, y'all.
I got, they were saying,
Okay.
they said I got double
Where's
stuffed
he getting
with
interviewed here, right?
speech
Yeah, but
mods.
we're just waiting for him to actually.
First Rashida, then Summer, then Abdul is like, ugh.
That's crazy. It's crazy.
Speech
My
mug,
audience is
speech
haters,
mug,
man.
speech
That's how
mug.
it is.
Usually he's pretty good. I don't know.
You're jumping ship too, man. Come on.
Oh yeah, I was the first one off. I'm
Yeah,
on
no,
the
I
summer train.
saw your comment in the chat.
I'm on the
actually.
summer train.
You pulled out your phone to say that in the chat while you were filming,
Just join in.
which hurts even more somehow.
That's more work. You're right.
Yeah, look, it's right here. Look.
Oh, that's hilarious. I thought you were kidding.
He was in the chat saying speech mog, that you were speech mog.
You yourself.
Good.
He's so good.
This socialism shit is done. It's done.
It's over.
Equal say, equal pay. It's a ridiculous concept.
No
I'm
more.
Done.
No
I'm
more.
done with that.
See,
I think anyone can tell.
You are a congressman.
No.
The Rust Belt Rosebud, she's so cute.
That was
What
so
a funny
funny.
lady. I love Rashida.
What a throwback.
Funny
I forgot about that.
She's so good.
Wait. Who do you think won? Oh. And then
You don't
Hasan,
hit women
man.
against each other.
Hasan, no, hold
Man,
on. No,
killed
you
him.
were.
You don't have to-
Hasan. No. You were that. No, you were.
All right.
Okay, my audience was not feeling it. They were saying,
Be very proud.
all right, Abdul's here. All right, let's do it.
Who's first?
Let's see. All right. Rep Lee, do you want to join? All right. Okay, everybody. Can we have it quiet in the back, please? Okay. All right. So I'm going to ask folks to raise their hand if they have a question. I'll be calling on folks individually, asking for your full cooperation here, just so we can make it run smoothly and get you out of here before it's too late. Can we have you two come on up?
I don't have a suit jacket today.
You want to line up by height again? That's what we're doing?
That's what we did.
Time.
All right. Because we're at U of M, let's start with Michigan Daily.
Thank you, yes. So, Hasan, what would you say to students who are apathetic to the political process and are like too disinterested to engage?
Yeah, to them I say, I understand exactly why you feel that way. You probably went out, you protested, you were participating in the student encampments, and you might have even gotten arrested, as a matter of fact, in the process. But the reality is we just got to keep pushing through it, because we have made some very significant gains in terms of broad awareness initiatives. Obviously, our job is not done, but you got to hold on to those victories wherever you take them, and build on that and build the momentum that's necessary to make the changes. One thing that I always go back to is society never fosters unless old men plant seeds for trees they will never sit in the shade of. And I think a lot of the youth have the ambition, they want to make that change, and then they receive these setbacks, whether the punishments or the cancellations or a loss of job opportunities, and they think to themselves, all right, well, you know, we didn't actually, what was this all for? But the reality of the matter is change takes a long time, and you have to remind yourself of that, and you have to hold on to those small victories so you can maintain revolutionary optimism.
Thank you. Can you raise your hand if you have a question, please?
Can you step forward a little bit?
All right, hands raised. Nina?
For Hasan, why do you think Democrats chose this moment to fight about you?
Great question. I think they would rather talk about anything but the thing that many of them wanted, which is this war. The reality of the matter is a lot of the Democrats that are speaking out about this, in the finite amount of time that's readily available for them, as opposed to banging the drums against Donald Trump's unjustifiable war that he was goaded into waging alongside Israel. They're doing that because they would rather lean into distractions. There is obviously a positive outcome in all of this, though, and the reality is that with the age of independent media, voices like mine that used to get used to be gatekept from polite society, from conversations in mainstream outlets, are no longer cast aside as easily. And we saw that with, obviously, the sea change on the issue of Palestine. I brought it up in my speech earlier as well. You have massive supermajorities of the population that have completely shifted their attitude on this issue, because it's unconscionable that we have supported a foreign country that has committed a genocide and is currently committing another ethnic cleansing campaign in southern Lebanon with a million Lebanese people that have been displaced. People are frustrated with that, and the previous ways of dealing with this issue, instead of talking about the actual issue itself, was to simply say this person is a bad person. We're going to find quotes that we can mine and smear this person, attack the messenger rather than tackle the message. It's not working anymore in this new media environment, but I think it's a place of fear. It comes from a place of fear. It comes from the fear of losing control over the messaging, and I'm very excited about what the future holds. And I'm glad that there are real fighters out there who say this kind of stuff is a distraction, And we should focus on the real issues, you know, feeding families, making sure that we fight for health care for every single person, making sure that our tax dollars are allocated back to us rather than, you know, waging unlimited wars overseas. And I'm very happy to stand next to Abdul El-Sayed here, who I think is a candidate that will represent those forces very well in the Senate, hopefully, inshallah.
Thank you. We're going to go to Associated Press.
Hi, Abdul, I'm wondering why you think 2026 is different. You know, yourself, the progressive movement, has been able to fill rooms in the past. Why do you think this is the year that you can actually, you know, break through, win an election in a battleground state like this?
Yeah, as I said in my remarks, Donald Trump himself is not the disease, he's just the worst symptom of the disease. And for 4 years we dealt with the symptom and didn't actually tackle the disease. And we know what happens to diseases you don't take care of, they get worse. So you're looking around and people are finding that the good life that they were promised is just further away. It's harder to afford groceries, it's harder to work a stable job, it's harder to afford a home. We're graduating with more debt. Young people are worried about whether or not they'll ever be able to get a job. Healthcare is more expensive. More people have fallen into medical debt. That is all worse now than it was when I ran in 2018. And at the end of the day, right, our job is to build an indelible relationship to the voters that we're asking to support us. We win because they understand who we are. And my job, because I've done this once before, is to go back to voters and ask, hey, is it better than it was? And I've been saying the same thing now consistently for the past 8 years since I jumped into politics. And do you want someone who is going to blow in the wind, or do you want somebody who's been saying the same thing over and over and over again about what it looks like to actually solve these problems? And so consistency matters, and I think it's something that we need to bring to every conversation in our politics. So I think that's what's different. The other thing I'll just tell you is, you know, in this particular race, I've run once before. When I first ran, I was 32, never run for office in my life. This time around, I'm 41 with 2 kids and a mortgage. You know, we grow up. And I'll tell you, there's nothing that chastens you like your children can. And I used to be real precious about the critique. And this time around, I just want folks to agree on a solution. I don't care how you get there, but I want you to believe enough in yourself that you deserve health care. I don't care how you get there, but I want you to be asking big questions about whether or not a corporation can come in, offshore, automate your job, and whether or not you actually need a union, right? I want you to be asking big questions about whether or not MAGA are fighting another war that they swore up and down they'd never get us into, whether or not that's making your life more affordable. So I think all of that is what's changed. And I'll tell you, up and down the state, 90 different cities, 300 public events, right? In rooms big and small, in places like this, but also in VFW halls and in Escanaba or living rooms in Grand Rapids. That message is resonating, that we really can get money out of politics, we really can put money back in your pocket, and we really can pass Medicare for all.
Also, every single year is the year to show up and try.
Yeah.
Right? There should be a progressive running everywhere that one exists. And there should be the option everywhere that we have an election for people who care about working families and working values, and people who care about Medicare for all, or affordable housing, or free college. Every single year we have to take the chance. Every year, every race, we might not be victorious, but every single time we have to call the question. Every single time we have to show up.
Yeah, thank you. We're going to go to Andrew, Jewish Telegraphic Agency.
Thank you. Abdul, you grew up around a lot of Jews. You grew up near Temple Israel. I imagine some of them, I know some of them are concerned now about you campaigning with Hasan. What do you say to them? And Hasan, could you explain the Rabbi Shmuley comment?
So let me speak to that. I am so grateful to have grown up in a community with a large proportion of Jewish Americans. I learned a lot from the Jewish tradition. I'm grateful to have been invited to bar and bat mitzvahs, and to be invited to seders, and to be invited to spend time at shul. And I'm grateful to have been able to do that even on this campaign. I stand deeply and profoundly against anti-Semitism in the same way that I stand deeply and profoundly against Islamophobia. Those two things always run together. It is not anti-Semitic to criticize a foreign government, and it's not anti-Semitic to criticize a super PAC that is intent on aligning our interests with the foreign government. There are a lot of people who want us to think those things because they want to stretch the definition of anti-Semitism to encompass a foreign government. And I just will never be okay with that. It is out of my love for people, all people, that I stand against anti-Semitism. It is out of my love for people, all people, that I stand against genocide. And I would expect nothing less of anybody who claims to stand up for the equal rights of all people. You know, when it comes to Temple Israel, I was profoundly shaken. Many of my friends growing up worshiped at Temple Israel. Nothing justifies the heinous attack that we saw on Temple Israel. And you know, I stand in solidarity with my Jewish sisters and brothers for an America where that kind of thing never happens again. I also think it's just critical for us to understand that hurt people do hurt people. And the circumstances happening 6,000 miles away can affect the lives that we live here. And if we stand against violence, we got to stand against violence, all violence. And I tried to make that clear in my comments. I think some people tried to quote that out of context, and I understand that's how politics works. I'm not here to defend myself. But I will tell you this, I will always stand up to defend my Jewish sisters and brothers who are fighting for an equal right to be who they are, to express their beautiful faith in the way that I choose to express mine. And I hope that folks understand that.
Do you want me to answer the Rabbi Shmuley question?
Yeah, I'm just not sure what you meant by that.
Oh, yeah, Rabbi Shmuley is pro-genocide. It's pretty simple. And what I was saying is, if you feel like there isn't enough courage within you, if you feel discouraged, then, let spite be the reason why you go out and continue to fight the good fight for truth and for justice and for hopefully peace in this region. He was the first genocide dare that came to mind. I probably should have used Randy Fine instead. I feel like he's more of an annoying figure nowadays.
You're talking about a specific person.
What do you mean?
You're talking about a specific person, not a generic Rabbi Shmuley.
Oh my God! You don't know who Rabbi Shmuley is?
I know a Rabbi Shmuley. I didn't know who you meant.
Oh no, that's what I was talking about. Rabbi Shmuley Boteach, famous rabbi whose daughter has a kosher sex shop in Israel. That's what I was talking about.
Thank you. Can we have hands up for questions, please? All right, we'll go Olivia at the Free Press.
Okay. So to follow up on the answer you just gave there, how is that not an equivocation? Because the logic, if you extend the logic there, that would be like if after October 7th someone went to a mosque and was upset, did something awful there. How is that logic? How does that not translate?
Well, after October 7th, there was a whole genocide against Palestinians.
They blew up a lot of mosques in Gaza. I don't know if Free Press reported on that. Sorry.
So no, I just look at the end of the day, we can play this rhetorical game where we pretend that all actions stand on their own without a context, or we can try and have an adult conversation about context that exists in the world. Because at the end of the day, we all live in the same confined world. The things that happen one place in the world can affect what happens somewhere else in the world. And if we're serious about preventing bad things from happening in the world, we also have to be serious about the context in which they're created. And I'm trying to be serious about that context. So I can both say that the attack on Temple Israel was anti-Semitic and wrong. And I can also say that the circumstances that created that, it didn't happen in a vacuum. And that those circumstances that created that are important to stand up against as well. So, the notion that somehow I cannot condemn a war that killed a little boy and a little girl in Lebanon because of an attack on Temple Israel seems to me inconsistent with the way the world actually works. And I'd like to live in a world where we stand up against any and all violence, understanding that anti-Semitism is wrong, understanding that wars that we should not be fighting are also wrong, and understanding that there really is a connection between the two of them, however much the rhetorical games that people try to play tell us that there somehow is not.
We're going to take two more questions. I'm sorry, we're going to have to move on to the next person. I'm sorry, Olivia.
As a Jewish state.
Olivia, we're going to have to
I'd love
move
to take the
on.
question. I'd love to take the question, actually.
Thank you.
What do you mean by Jewish state?
I feel like
If you can't define the question, I'm not going to answer your question.
We're going to move on to the next person, Fox News.
Hasan, do you feel like your presence on the campaign trail may hurt the candidates that you're supporting more than help them?
If I felt that way, I probably wouldn't show up, right? I really like Abdul, so no, I don't think so. There are a lot of people who have the shared resentments that someone like I have, anger and discontent with the way politics are going, people that feel completely shut off from this conversation, people whose needs are not being met. I've made it very clear, I'm a megaphone. The reason why I have the popularity that I do is because a lot of people find themselves frustrated and don't have the language to communicate that frustration, don't understand exactly why they're frustrated, why change is not happening in the way that they would like to see. And that's what it is. At the end of the day, I'm simply a megaphone. You can cancel me if you want, but the feeling is not going to go away. And I think that's precisely the problem with the DC bubble that currently exists, that sometimes the media can lean into as well, and the DC bubble that absolutely exists with our political class. It's not an accident that you have a 90-10 issue here with Israel, and yet the roles are completely reversed. It's the inverse when it comes to our democratically elected representatives. We got to ask the question why that's the case. And we also have to make that change so that our politicians are more responsive to our needs, our politicians are more responsive to our demands. Because that's the fundamental principle of democracy. I believe in democracy, I believe in equal rights, I believe in these values, and that's why I continue fighting. And I think that message is resonating with a lot of people. So no, I don't think that it's a burden on the campaign, regardless of how much people will try to slander and associate me with radical politics and dangerous politics. When, you know, I'm a Muslim, Abdul's Muslim as well, and we're two Muslim guys that represent the moral majority at the heart, at the center of American politics right now on this issue. It's no different than any number of different candidates that I've actually aligned with and spoken to, and I will continue to support them to the best of my ability.
We're going to wrap the scrum portion. We might have time for poll sides. Do any of the three of you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, I think it's really important for us in our moment to ask big questions about who are we as a society and what do we want for people in our own society, right? You know, that questions get asked in bad faith, in particular, specifically to try and wrap us around the axle of things that are not within our control. What we really can control is whether or not we build good schools for our kids, whether or not we provide health care for our people, whether or not we finally break the chokehold of corporations and special interests on our politics. That's what people ask me up and down the state. You know, if we want to talk about issues 6,000 miles away, I believe in equal rights, dignity, self-determination, and justice for Palestinians and Jewish Israelis alike. But, you know, at the end of the day, when we try to argue that somehow the world is not as it really is, when people don't ask questions about whether or not, despite the fact that every single president who's ever served this country since the creation of the State of Israel has talked about a two-state solution, but nobody ever asked the question if Palestine has the right to exist, ever, right? I think we all have to ask big questions about how serious we really are about these issues. But right now, every dollar we send abroad to drop a bomb on other people's kids, every dollar that we're wasting in war, every dollar that we give because of the impact of one gigantic super PAC is a dollar we are not spending on our own kids here. And like I said, I care about this issue because I'm from Michigan. And I'm watching as people in Michigan are getting a bum deal because of our terrible choices abroad. We're making other people less safe while keeping us from being as safe as we possibly could be. So I really appreciate you all. I'm grateful always to be able to be in conversation with folks. As I said earlier, I started my day on Fox and Friends. I finished my day speaking to an audience full of young people with Hasan Piker and Summer Lee. That's what it looks like to go everywhere and talk to everyone, to build a movement that brings people together beyond the differences in our politics around the same central goals. That's what this campaign represents. I hope that's why all of you all are here. And we got 4 months left to work, so watch us do what we do. And more importantly, go and have conversations with the people in the state. Go and ask them what it is they want. Go and ask them what it feels like to be on the teetering edge of medical debt just because they got sick. That's what I see every day. And I think the reason people miss this race from DC is because they're not having conversations with those folks. And I encourage you, please, go have a conversation with those folks.
Thank you guys so much. We're going to ask folks with the green sticker to move towards the back.
Thank you.
Elena has some new media creator types that want to do something.
Hey, those are my boys, the Jam Pod.
Yeah,
Yo,
Yeah.
what's up? I thought I was going to see you guys.
It's a great finally meeting you, man.
Thanks for coming out.
Of course, man.
How you doing, man? I love what you guys do.
Thank
you for being out here.
I could not miss it.
I really appreciate it.
Of course, man. It's happy. I've been following from a distance for a while, kind of scoping out the city. I very much appreciate the
I think she wants to give everything to tripod or something. Or can I bring someone to the go?
I don't think they need. Oh, really? I think they don't need her.
How do you want to do it? What do you?
I think we're gonna split up you three with different creators.
Yeah.
And this is Lenka Hasan. Hi, nice
Hi.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you. You did the TikTok video.
You did my TikTok.
Oh my God! We watched her. Oh, thank you so much.
So you're gonna do the recording? I don't have to worry about this?
Well,
you're live right now.
We're live
Sorry.
right now. We're
on the stream.
But you should record on your own as well if you would like your own original footage.
Okay.
I mean, I can record it for you.
But yeah, we're live right now. We're live streaming
Okay.
everything.
So, first of all, it was surreal watching the media target those specific topics when regular Americans are worried about so many other things.
Yeah.
That was crazy. But AI, and I'm not sure.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I am super anti-AI. Maybe it's because I'm a boomer, or at least that's what people say, but I remember being asked this question about like, what would your advice be to someone born today if they were to read it right now for a magazine? And I said, stay away from AI, make sure you don't engage in the cognitive offloading, because I do think it's going to be a real problem. It's already a real problem. A lot of people are leaning heavily into it in their usage, and I think it's actually making them a little bit dumber. If you don't use it, you lose it. So I'm very fearful of AI. I'm fearful of the misinformation opportunities that it creates. It's already been a giant problem, both with the fake information presented, but also in the unwelcome suspicion, where everyone is constantly skeptical, like, oh, is this an AI video, is this not an AI video? When you got real videos of Benjamin Netanyahu, for example, and a lot of wishful thinking around his untimely demise has led people into believing that all of the videos that he's been filming to do proof of life are actually fake. They're AI videos, and that's a little bit terrifying.
It is terrifying.
Because I'm in the information game. I'm constantly finding myself having to deal with a lot of misinformation in this environment, and AI has supercharged it.
Right. So AI is eliminating entire careers. It's eliminating jobs we're not going to get back. Now we're talking about universal income, potentially. So what do we need to ask of candidates and our leaders in terms of policies to address this in the future? Can we trust the Elon Musks to come up with that universal income?
Absolutely
Can
not.
we trust centrist Democrats to come up with that?
Absolutely not. Unfortunately not. It's a great question. I think I'm a socialist, so I believe that technological improvement is fantastic. It's amazing. Unfortunately, however, technological improvement in the current organization of the economy is always used as a way to draw up efficiency, eliminate redundancy, which is, corpo speak for firing people, mass layoffs. What I think we should be doing is the federal jobs guarantee. What I also think we should be doing is to alleviate some of the workload that regular workers have. Technological achievements make it so that 10 people can do the job of one. And the reality is, a capital owner looks at that and says, great, we can fire 9 people. But what we should be looking at as the perspective that we should maintain is, let's reduce the workflow for all of the 10 people. Let's not fire them, and let's continue paying them the same price, but now they have to work less. And I think this is a totally radical way of looking at things, but I think this is the best possible way to ensure that we have a healthy we have a healthy economy that works for everybody, and not just capital owners, not just the corporations and the billionaires and the millionaires.
Which is critical for electing progressives, as many as possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Your phone ran out of storage, but you
It's
have
okay,
that
it's all
on,
here.
on the broadcast, so we filmed all of it. What's good?
My name is Hasan, your name is Hasan.
Yeah.
His name is Hasan.
Yeah.
What do you say to the Hasans of the world?
Keep fighting. Keep fighting. The good fight for all the Hassans out there.
Yeah, to all the Hassans. You guys are like the coolest people ever.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I get a picture?
Yeah.
Hassan supremacy, chat. Absolutely.
You want another one? All right, let's do it. Thank you, man. Nice to see you guys. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Well, I will. All right. Anyone else that wanted to do an interview, or are you guys good?
I think you got one here. Hassan. Here you go. Here.
Oh, hi.
Nice to meet you. I'm Kaya.
Nice to meet you.
Do you want to make a video with me?
Sure.
Say hi.
Hi.
I have some advice for you.
Okay, let's hear it.
You're getting canceled, right? It's horrible because you're too radical.
Well, not really, but,
They're trying. They're failing, right? I think you should lean into it. I think you should get even more radical.
Okay, I will do that.
It's good to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Hey, what's good? What's good?
We can get a little quick meeting out the way. I got.
Yeah.
You
Take this mic. All good? Yep. I'm gonna probably spoof together y'all answers when I do different questions or everything. But we're gonna launch the first edition of a show that I'm starting called Keep It a Bean. Keep it 100. Alright? Cool. So I have a question for you. So obviously you've seen the media about you.
Wait, what's going on? I wasn't aware.
But we've seen how much press that this event has gotten in general. It's one of the reasons why I ended up coming here, because of the concept of not talking with you for whatever other opinions that you might have had. I want to ask, what does that do for your, I guess, optimism or hope looking forward in what you're hoping to accomplish? Because it seems as though there's a battle to try to expand the tent.
Yeah.
And there's multiple millions getting pulled in to keep that tent as strict as possible. So how are you navigating that?
I have a lot of hope because, look, I've been doing this for 12, 13 years at this point, and it felt a lot lonelier 13 years ago when I was speaking to a much smaller audience. And now that tent has grown, whether the Democrats like it or not.
Yeah.
So I feel a sense of optimism in all of this, because even 2 years ago, if this level of coverage was so heavily focused on little old me, it would have done irreparable damage to my goals, my advocacy. I would have been besmirched up and down. I would not have been able to maintain a platform where I can continue communicating with, thousands of people. And now it doesn't work anymore. And also, it's a 90-10 issue. So if they choose to be on the other side, on the wrong side of a 90-10 issue, when there's a three-way election within the margin of error, great.
Yeah.
Abdul El-Sayed is a phenomenal candidate. I've been very impressed with him. I've been very excited about what we can do. Right? He's a great representative of the new wave of left-wing candidates that I want to prop up, that I want to fight for, because he will fight for us.
Yeah.
And our shared values. So one of the problems in this race has been the fact that, despite that it's a Michigan Senate seat, there hasn't been a lot of media coverage, and I guess we solved that problem.
Yeah, of course, anytime. I feel like one of the reasons why it's so important to have voices like us, in general, people who fall a little bit outside of what's mainstream acceptable, is because you have to analyze what forces make an opinion mainstream. If there are people pouring millions, we've seen it happen in Illinois the other day, where millions are pouring out from outside forces to try to buy off Senate seats. And I feel like right now is you have to counter that with something. And bringing the eyes, do you hope that bringing the eyes, bringing the audience of the people who are on a Twitch or on a more modern social media type beat, do you think that attention will be hopefully a good counterweight to all the propaganda?
Absolutely. Look, we have a relatively sizable audience. I have a relatively sizable community. I mean, you saw a piece of that upstairs. But the thing is, they're very passionate.
Yeah.
They're door knockers. They're campaigners. Like, these are the guys who are constantly locked in, even when politics is seemingly boring from a normie perspective.
Yeah.
And these guys make the backbone of the foundation of every solid campaign. They were there for Zoran as well. Hopefully they'll be able to show up for Abdul El-Sayed in a similar fashion, and hopefully we can make this necessary change.
Yeah. Hey, watching it out there, it always starts with step one.
Yeah.
And it's a very good step one. So come out, support all the above. Of course. Appreciate you, bro. Good seeing you, Chloe. Yes, sir. All good?
Yeah.
Cool. Appreciate you, man. I'll catch you.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Hold
Hear
on.
me out on this.
The mic.
Oh, yeah.
Daughter.
What's up? What did you say?
Linka is my mom.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Did you say that you don't mind holding this?
Oh, I got you, yeah.
Thank you so much. I don't think it has recorded yet.
Not yet. Let me know when you're ready, okay?
Yes.
Ready?
Hassan, you often talk about how the system is rigged for corporations, and Dr. El-Sayed has pledged to refuse corporate money to run a government that works for you and not Elon Musk. As a member of Gen Z who doesn't see an obvious path towards an affordable future, how do we actually break the chokehold of billionaires on our politics, and what specific actions should Gen Z be demanding of our elected officials to make that happen?
make them commit to a better future, make them commit to taking no corporate PAC money. That's a good start. Holding them to account, meeting them at their town halls when they do have those town halls, sometimes yelling at them a little bit, applying a little bit of pressure. From my experience, I have a fairly cynical view of politics. I've been doing this for 13 years, and I always had this notion that politicians are not responsive to the needs of the base because they know it, they hear it, and they choose not to act on it. And it turns out, no, actually a lot of politicians are just in an echo chamber and they're completely oblivious. They live in DC, when they go back to their districts, they rarely do any sort of events. Most of them are closed door, you know, $50,000 a plate fundraiser events. They only have in their contacts list, like the people that are constantly blowing up their phones are corporate lobbyists. And that's the reason why there's this massive disconnect. So you have to make up for that. You have to be there. And you have to say, look, we want these things. We want Medicare for all. We want affordable housing. We want a clean energy transition. We want renewable energy in this country. We want a better future for our children, if it even gets there. We want to end these wars. So we have to make that. We have to make that demand be known. And then also on top of that, organizing is very important. Organizing in your workplace, organizing in your student unions, organizing in your clubs, and using that organizational tool to become an undeniable force for change. So yeah, it's a tall order, but I think you guys can do it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for doing this today.
Of course.
Thank you.
Gotcha.
I just have a question, kind of comment thing, right?
Not my forearm.
And
Hurt so
I'm
much.
not like professional, so I don't have.
It's all good.
Okay. So, have you ever been to Israel? Like, visited there, or?
No.
Oh, this is gonna be
I was
good.
just curious because, like, I'm Roman Catholic, and I just noticed that, like, there's been so much like violence over there against the Catholics of the West Bank, and, like Jerusalem, but like they don't talk about it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I mean, there's violence again. Look. This is why I oppose Zionism. This is why I say I'm an anti-Zionist. Obviously, this is a vague definition that is, I would say, tactically vague. It's different for every single person when you talk about these issues. But the reality is, the underpinning ideology it closely resembles fascism. It's an ethno-religious supremacist ideology that is exterminationist in principle, and we've seen not just the ideology itself, but we've seen the impact of a society that has fostered this ideology and has committed heinous acts of violence, genocide, the crime of all crimes. The reality of the matter is, things are very different here in America in many respects. But over in Israel, it is a fascist society,
and funded by American
yes.
Christians.
Oh no. I'm not saying there's a separation there. I'm just simply saying that cultural forces and cultural attitudes are different, right? It's the domineering mentality in Israel, and that's precisely the reason why there's very little pushback against moving society in this fascist direction. I fear that America is moving in a similar direction as well with Christian nationalism here in the United States, and I want to stop that from happening, and I want to stop that from happening in Israel as well.
Catholicism, if you know what Pope Francis said the very same day on Palm Sunday that he said, you know, the blood's on your hands. Then the patriarch and he was locked out of his church on Palm Sunday. And then last Friday, Pete Hegseth had Protestant only. He didn't have Catholic services.
Yeah, that was strange.
Well, yeah, it wasn't like an accident.
America's a secular nation. It's very strange the direction that we're moving in.
Yeah,
it's interesting because I think like a lot of American Jews don't recognize what's going on either in some ways, or they're too focused on what they perceive to be anti-Semitism when people are critical of Israel. That's not the case. But I think these guys, the people that are casting aside Catholics as well, I think those guys are the real fear here. Those are the number one disseminators of anti-Semitic thought, even if they are in line with the agenda of Israel.
Right. It's weird because the Heritage Foundation guy, who's supposed to be Catholic, the people that put the Supreme Court people in are supposed to be Catholic, but they don't care about this issue.
Yeah.
And I've been following the West Bank stuff in Jerusalem. They're like spitting on Christians that are trying to go to like Easter Sunday. they're not letting in the churches. So I was just curious if you followed that.
Oh no, I'm very familiar with it, but again, it's ethno-religious supremacy. That's what it is. Unfortunately, it exists here in the United States of America. It exists in Israel. It exists in many societies. And if we are people with of good conscience, then we have to oppose these dangerous forces. We have to fight back against these dangerous forces in order not to let that kind of attitude manifest, that kind of dangerous ideology manifest again, because it was unbelievably bloody when it happened the last time, as is the case with the Holocaust in Nazi Germany.
Well, I just want to say hi to you, and thanks for supporting us.
Nice to meet you, of course.
I've been supporting them since 2018.
Hell yeah.
And this is the year.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
What's up?
Hasan, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm Jacob from the Michigan Daily.
Yeah.
So,
What's good?
It's good. Medicare for All seems to be like a pretty popular issue among Democrats. I mean, like Bernie Sanders ran a pretty successful.
Tell that to Congress, because they don't seem to hear that as a popular issue to take on at all.
Well, I was going to ask you, I mean, he ran a fairly successful campaign. He didn't win, but fairly successful campaign for president, primarily running on that. So why do you think change hasn't been implemented in Congress on that, and what can change that?
It's corporate money. It's corporate donors. I mean, this is an unnecessary middleman that doesn't exist in many other countries. Many competent OECD nations don't have private healthcare. Some of them do, but it's heavily regulated. It's safeguarded so that what we experience here in the United States of America, which is the unthinkable, medical debt, doesn't happen elsewhere. And that's the major reason. Sometimes it's that simple. They get money from United Healthcare, Aetna, Blue Cross Blue Shield, all these billion-dollar, all these companies that represent $1 billion industry. That's great for the GDP as well, right? But it's not great for the overall welfare of the American population. And that's precisely the reason why Democrats are unresponsive to the needs of the people. And they'll come up with a million different reasons. They'll be like, oh, it's not popular. It'll be too devastating. They just make excuse after excuse in an effort to justify their incompetence or their lack of interest in making the necessary changes, no matter how great that would be electorally, no matter how great that would be for the population in general.
Another quick question, is this the beginning of your career campaigning? I mean, not campaigning, for running for office, but like going out and supporting other candidates. Are you going to do more events like this in the future?
I mean, we'll see. We'll see how this goes, right? There's been a lot of hubbub unnecessarily around this. I've had many. I've appeared alongside Abdul El-Sayed in many instances. He's been on my stream. I came out here like last year. We went to Dearborn. We worked out together, and there wasn't a lot of controversy until, again, corporate donors started making boss calls, and then all of a sudden there is this manufactured outrage, right? The very same outlets that had written profiles on me and had even brought up the same quotes back then and saying like, this is the guy that's combating the manosphere, this is Joe Rogan to the left, all of a sudden forgot about those previous reports that they had conducted, and now we're taking a very different approach overall. It's insincere. I think it comes from a place of weakness for these groups that are desperate to cling on to power in the party because they know that they've lost the base of support. So they're just trying to like pressure politicians, and some politicians are unfortunately too malleable. They shouldn't be. They should be brave. They should be bold. They should say, look, this kind of stuff, we're done with that, right? What matters most is not incivility, but what matters most is what a person advocates for. Do I agree with that? I've spent a long, I've been doing this for 13 years, and I've combated anti-Semitism every single day of my career, and that hasn't changed post October 7 either. And because of that, I've been attacked by neo-Nazis, I've been doxxed, I've been swatted, my family has been harassed, and yet I continue to do that because it's something that I believe in, right? I believe in humanity, I believe in universal human rights, and I believe in fighting against bigotry no matter what that bigotry looks like. So it's very heinous, it's a very heinous smear to just like turn around and say, especially at my level, I probably might be one of the last remaining political commentators of my size that also still actively talks about anti-Semitism. It's unbearable, but what are you going to do? I think people have the capacity to see right from wrong, and they have the capacity to see a smear campaign and manufactured outrage when they see it.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
All right, we're gonna bring in these folks from Stalking the Capitol.
Yeah.
It's great to meet you.
Stalking the Capitol?
Have you seen our stuff at all?
I don't know. Maybe.
So we grade members of Congress using their personal campaign finances.
Oh, yeah.
Is a member of Congress a piece of shit?
Yeah,
that kind of
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Love that.
So I was hoping you wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
So on the Integrity Index, which is the website that we've got that tracks all the campaign finances and the personal finances, we have the top 6 right here, folks that have gotten money from AIPAC in 2026.
Oh, okay.
Direct and
I thought you were gonna say the broke boys, like the brokest, the Integrity Index. You make it seem like they have no portfolio whatsoever, or they have no donations from corporate PACs.
No, these are, well, we have that.
Okay.
We have them. We have our top 10, but these specifically, I'm not going to show you.
Oh, don't
These
show
are
me.
the top. These are the top 6 I got right here. Recipients of AIPAC money, 2026 cycle.
Mm-hmm.
I want to play a little game. You get 3 strikes. How many of the top 6?
It's gonna be tough.
Do you think you can get?
Nonpartisan? Like it's both parties?
Both parties, and this is counting the earmarked money and the direct donations. No super PAC money though.
Ooh, that's tough. I genuinely have no idea. Wesley Bell.
Wesley Bell, yes. He's number 3.
Boom!
Still got all 3 strikes. You're good.
Okay.
Nice. That was a good pull.
Yeah, I mean he's the one that comes to mind immediately because like that was that was like a singular race where AIPAC was like the only force pretty much.
And the super PAC money was crazy in that race.
Yeah.
Crazy. Right here, this is just, it's right under $900,000 earmarked and direct. Super PAC money I think was over $10 million in that race.
Yeah, no, it's unbelievable.
Wild.
Okay. Let's see. So that was a Democrat. They do spend a lot of money on Democrats, a lot more than you would think. So, you know what? I'm gonna go crazy. Hakeem Jeffries.
Hakeem Jeffries didn't make the top 20. Which is, interesting.
All right.
Strike one.
All right.
Strike one.
Strike one.
Right. Sorry, strike one.
Okay, it's tough. Wait. 2026 is what you're asking.
So it's the 2026 cycle. So 2025 and 2026. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, that's part of why.
So it's not going to be the folks that were in the
Yeah. 2026. Haley Stevens.
Haley Stevens is not in the top 10, but she is the Michigan member of Congress that got the most AIPAC money.
Damn
it. It is a second strike though.
God damn it. Okay.
Rules are the rules.
Okay, but they're good. There's just so many of them.
I know. Yeah. There are a lot. There's 332 recipients of AIPAC money.
Can I say like who is in opposition to like the guy? I don't remember his name. The guy running against Ro Khanna.
Oh, in California. No. Sorry. These are all sitting members of Congress.
Oh.
Sitting members of Congress.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't worry, no third strike there.
Okay, hold on.
And senators. This is
who's
all.
Everyone, who's running? Who's in Congress right now is running for re-election, right?
That's true. The senators running for re-election are going to be pulling a lot of money right now.
Yeah. John Fetterman.
No, that's strike 3.
That's true. He's not even running. You said.
Do you want one more? Do you want one more?
That doesn't count. That doesn't count. Think obvious. Jacques Shapiro. Gavin Newsom.
Literally not sitting up to Congress.
I know. What am I doing? I'm just throwing.
He's trying to get you. I'll give you one more.
You're
He's
throwing
doing a book tour.
He's doing a book tour. Who the fuck's doing a book tour? God damn it. It's Chuck Schumer.
We're thinking of Cory Booker there.
Oh, damn it.
So I've already given you the top 6. All
right,
we got Susan Collins number 1, Tom Cotton number 2. You got Wesley Bell number 3. Lindsey Graham number 4. Cory Booker number 5. Richie Torres number 6.
I didn't want to say Richie Torres because he's been. Okay, here's why I didn't say it. Because that's my number 1 op, as people might know, right? Or was my number 1 op. But
who's your number 1?
Well, there's many of them now. But the reason why I'm saying that is because like Richie Torres was much more aggressive with his pro-Israel message for the longest time, and he's been noticeably absent from the conversation, except to criticize Israel. He recently.
You think that was the Adam Freeland effect?
No, I think that's because he understands. He's trying to run. He's trying to win his seat again, and he knows he's going to lose. So that's why he's like shut the fuck up about Israel, except for when he actually criticized Israel, when he came out and like spoke out against settler terrorism, which was shocking. Real change of heart there, probably because of Adam Freeland. Let's give him that.
Let's give him
All right.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, great meeting you.
I started so strong.
Yeah.
Starts round
It's-
one.
dude,
Yeah.
Abdul was really good at his Michigan. His Michigan money politics trivia, he was on fire.
Yeah, of
The answer
course.
was Haley Stevens basically every time.
Yeah. All right.
A couple more, you good?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
She's been waiting
patiently
to just say hi.
I just wanted to, Hasan Piker, I'm Casey Helton. I'm here on the behalf of the unofficial council of Deborah's. I'm a huge fan, and I just wanted to say I really support what you're doing, and I'm a new listener. I'm a new HasanAbi. Like I started listening in October. I'm a labor organizer here for at U of M.
She actually endorsed my race, SEIU, for
Yes.
Puerto Rico.
Yes, I'm here on a person. Yes, we did endorse, and we're happily. But I just wanted to say that I know you get a lot of shit,
It's okay.
but you handle it. Yes, you handle it amazingly, and you're a great voice.
Because I have my convictions. This is what I really appreciate about Abdul too. Is like, as long as you have your convictions, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what people say. I know who I am. I know the values I represent. I know what I fight for. The onslaught of misinformation and slander and smears doesn't change that dynamic. And luckily now I have a fairly large audience that also can, see right from wrong and recognize the truth and support me in spite of the heinous smears.
Well, I tweeted about this day. That's kind of my medium is X, but there was 2 kids in front of me waiting to get in, and a Jewish publication came up, a reporter, and was asking them questions, and they said, are you here for Hasan Piker, or are you here for Abdul El-Sayed? And the kid goes, well, I've heard of that guy, but I'm here because I support Abdul because he supports Medicare for all.
Oh yeah, I saw your tweet, I think.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So I said, you know what, I gotta tweet that.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, that's what it's all about.
For. Yes, we all want those things. Can I just get a quick picture with you?
Of course.
Do you mind? I'm a real shorty, but I'm a fan. Oh, thank you. Yes, real quick.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
It was so good to see you, man. Take care.
Nice to meet you.
We'll talk soon.
Nice
Nice
to
to
meet
meet
you.
you. All right, this is Mom Rad, the creator.
Hi.
It's good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Sort of newer to yourself.
Oh, okay.
But I've been following Abdul for a long time. I voted for him when he ran for governor in 2018. And I feel like it's different now. Do you feel like Michigan is ready for Abdul?
Absolutely. I think it's not just Michigan that's ready for Abdul. I think the entire country is ready for people like Abdul to finally step up to the plate and take back power from corporate oligarchs. Really, this is the time. I mean, it's always been the time, but now I have more hope than I've ever had. I've been doing this for a decade plus now, and I've never seen the amount of support and people that would normally vote in the primaries that are way more predisposed to electability arguments that think we got to pivot to the moderate center. People are not having it anymore, and I think that's precisely what Abdul represents. A guy who's not going to fake it. He's not phony. He has his convictions. He has his values. He represents them. He's uncompromising, and he's always going to fight for the people.
And do you think the pushback that he's been getting and you've been getting throughout this, do you think that comes from a fear from the Democratic establishment that people are ready for the party to change?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's not necessarily the Democratic politicians themselves, with the exception of those who are much more responsive to the corporate calls that they get, the donor calls that they get. But I think it's more so a couple different interest groups that feel as though the left populist movement, the left flank candidates that are now rising up all around the country, represent a real threat to their interests because they want to maintain as much control over the party as possible. And they don't really care if the Democrats lose because from their perspective, they're hedging their bets. They'll go and fund Republicans too. These are faceless, lifeless corporations at the end of the day. So they are worried. They're worried that we will have a different type of politics, one that is putting the interests of people over the interests of corporations. And I think that's what they're fearful of, and that's why they want to stamp it out to the best of their ability. By using a figure like myself, they're not just attacking me, they're attacking a lot of people who also have that same shared resentment. They're trying to attack our candidates that we support, that are elected representatives of our values, of our principles, of our needs. And this is not going to go away. This is going to continue throughout the midterm cycle. It's very clear. I don't really mind when the Republicans do it because they're Republicans. Who cares? They're horrible. But it does hurt me a little bit when I see Democrats come out and try to dupe their audiences into believing that I'm this malignant force in the party. It hurts, but what are you going to do?
Well, thanks so much for your time.
Nice
I
to meet
appreciate
you.
it. Thanks for being out with Abdul.
Thank you.
Okay, two last things.
Okay.
One person that would like to say hi, and then the KO would like to say
Of course.
How's it going, man?
What's up?
Nothing much, man. So big fan. I've been watching you for probably 8 years or so. And yeah, I just wanted to say, love what you do, man. Also, as a cameraman, I just want to shout out March. Seriously.
Don't
Thank you.
He's awesome.
Thank you.
He's gonna grow.
Nah.
He's already too big.
Let his ego blow.
Thank you, thank you.
I also made this for you, handmade evil eye bracelet. You don't have to wear it if you don't want to, but handmade. And yeah, I love what you do. I'd like to just get a quick photo.
Of course.
Awesome.
I can take it if you want.
Thank you.
Let me put the bracelet on. See, I trust you. I trust you not to lace me.
Nah, you're Thank you, Hasan.
All right.
Thank you so much.
So just want to thank you. Amir Mahmoud, rooting for you of M region. I don't know if you heard, but
yeah,
love to have your support.
Of course.
So
yeah.
So listen, our statewide election's coming up. We
It's
have
live, by the way.
Okay.
You're live already. Do
Well,
your
let's-
pitch.
We're running a progressive platform. Michigan Daily has said we're the most progressive candidate. We're running a platform that wants to get the sense of fear out of the campus, get back to having academic freedom, the right to free speech on campus. I was the lead attorney defending the students in the encampments here at the University of Michigan. Sometimes you got to take a victory out of the courtroom and get into the boardroom, which put me in the ability to run for this seat. I want to reinstitute the DEI policies that have been gutted by this board. They capitulated to the Trump administration, and we need a fighter that's going to come to the University of Michigan Board of Regents. That's going to push back and stand for the people. So we're running a people's platform, brother, and I would be honored for your support.
You got it.
All the listeners that are out there, Amir Immaculate is my name, and we need to get the do nothing Democrats got to get out of here. It's time for guys that stand up and stand tall for our rights.
Hell yeah! Thank you for all your work. Thank you. Seriously. All right. Nice to meet you.
You deserve a raise.
That's crazy. All right, one more you said? All right, let's do it. Hi. Nice to meet you again. All right, let's do it. Where do you want to sit down?
Sure.
Okay.
The last thing is just a quick photo for me.
Yeah. Does the New York Times want to do?
Yep.
Do they want to do more? Because I talked to him in the morning. Yeah, I talked to him already.
I think he'll let you know.
All right.
Thank you.
Of course.
This is the first campaign that you have attended a fundraiser for, is that correct?
I've fundraised for Abdul already. I've fundraised for plenty of candidates in the past. I've brought candidates to my platform many times. Most famously, Zoran probably is the one that comes to mind. That was like a big splash. But I've never stumped for a candidate. I've never gone to a campaign rally and spoke alongside a candidate. And I didn't even realize that was supposed to be something different. I thought, what's the difference? I've hung out with the guy many times. Who cares? Turns out for DC, by DC standards, it's a big difference. Or at least they're trying to make it seem like it's a big difference. But it's all manufactured outrage at the end of the day. But yes, to give you a short answer to a much longer answer than you expected, it's my first time.
And why are you supporting Abdul in this way?
I'm supporting him because he can bench press 3 plates. That's it. That was the only reason. No, I mean I'm supporting him because he's honest. He's a fighter. He is representative of the needs that people have. He's representative of the fight that we need to take to Congress. he is exactly the change that I want to see in the Democratic Party, a party that is actually going to fight back against the excesses and the violence that the fascist Republicans represent.
On that note, what's your response to Iran today, the proposed ceasefire deal?
I'm glad that Trump tacoed out. It's Taco Tuesday. You know, I mean, it was unbelievable that he was just trafficking in genocidal language. It's expected, yet still hurtful to see very little response and reaction from the Republican congresspersons and even European leadership, as a matter of fact. But I'm glad that you know I'm glad that there is a more productive conversation taking place right now, even though the bombing campaigns are not going to stop. But I'm glad that they're not blowing up the power plants, at least.
And just on you again, I mean, are there any other candidates you plan to campaign for?
Whoever I like, if they ask me to stomp for them, I'll do it. I got the bug now.
And then one last question. You've talked a little bit about this, but why do you think that this is the moment that Democrats chose to fight over you? And, you know, on the Hasan Piker litmus test, what do you think it's really about?
They're scared. They're scared of losing their influence in the party. They know they've already lost the base. And they're really trying to stamp out dissent. They find people like myself that are uncontrollable to be a real threat. I'm a megaphone at the end of the day. I represent the values of a lot of people that I speak to. I represent the moral majority of the Democratic Party's base of support and independents as well. And they would much rather go back to business as usual politics and hope that there isn't anyone out there that's like capable of combating against the misinformation campaigns and the undemocratic initiatives that AIPAC and many other corporate lobbyists represent and bake into our so-called democratic process.
And last question, what do you think of Michigan?
It's wonderful. It's very cold, but I love Michigan. It's a beautiful place.
Are you heading back tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for taking
Of course.
the time.
Nice to meet you.
Would I be able to get your number for any future questions?
Well, you can ask Mehdi,
Okay.
and he'll give it to you. I don't want to say on the live stream.
Did you type it?
Sure.
Was that the final one? Are we done?
No, photo.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Okay, how you doing? I'm Nick, man.
Sorry.
Nice to meet you. You're looking sharp. Oh, thank you. I'm just going to be standing right here against the wall there. Okay. This wall? That wall there. So can I have you slide a little to your, yeah, so you're going to be up against it like this, but I just need to get you in a certain spot. This the other side. Slide just a hair this way towards me. Yep, exactly. And then can I have you turn your head slightly to the right? Yep, great, perfect. And yeah, I like that little squint of the eyes. Great. Turn your head a bit more this way. And then on me, yep, great. Chin up a little bit. Can I have you look out that way? Yep. And then eyes a little that way. Great. Follow my
Never seen somebody
Hold that.
shoot so well in top-down lighting.
And then to me. Great.
Very impressed right now.
And then head, lean forward a little bit with your head. Yep, great, just like that. Yep.
Dr. Jihad Fashion Week.
And then chin up a little bit.
Why does he have to look so good?
This way?
This way?
Yep, right there. And then just gonna see how the lights in.
Stupid sex on the side.
Yeah, perfect.
This is great for the live stream.
Oh yeah, they're loving this.
It's good for the
Chad, you get to see how the sausage is made.
Saw your profile by GQ.
Yeah.
You've had a few, yeah?
Oh yeah. Good?
Can I just do a couple more? Is that
Sure.
cool? Yeah, I'm just gonna move this chair. And then just right.
This is how we get those sexy photos, Chad.
And then take a slight step that way. And then so that looks. And then a little bit this way. Yep, there we go. And then perfect. Yep. Chin up. Can I do in line with your neck? You're looking up that way. Yep. And then eyes here. Hold that. Then turn your head slightly this way. Eyes on me. Stay there. I just need to move the light up here. And then over here. Yep. And eyes on me. Chin up. There we go. A little squint of the eyes. Yeah. And then chin up a little bit again. And I have a question. If you're down to try a certain portrait style.
Okay, let's see.
So, how would you feel if you did like a pose portrait, looking like at
In
the
the
mirror,
bathroom?
in the mirror at me, like I scoped it out?
Sure.
You down to try it?
Sure.
Yeah?
Why not?
All
Let's
right.
do it.
Cool. All right.
You want me to like take off my jacket or?
No, I think the jacket's sharp. Just I think it'll just be a cool, more a bit dramatic portrait. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, you want? Yeah, you should just do them first. Then.
Are you down to do that though?
Yeah, afterwards. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
If you got time.
Hey, Abdul.
You good, man?
Get ready. It's gonna take a while.
Can I just get a photo?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you so much.
You want to get in it? Not in the fridge. It's not.
Yeah, let me get some.
Okay, that's better.
I can take it for you.
So I'm just gonna have you.
Yo.
Alright, we'll swap.
What? One quick picture. Yeah, yeah.
And then I'm gonna head out. Cool. Hey, bro. See you. Catch you around, man. Keep up the good fight, bro.
Keep your head up, man. They coming after you again.
We'll catch you next time you're in Chicago.
My
All right, see you. Can we do a
Bye.
picture quick on
Yeah,
it?
of
And then
course.
we'll let you go.
Of course.
Oh, Roxy's next. Yeah, she's priority.
Oh, yeah.
No problem.
I'll send you the final.
You know they're trying to shut the building.
Oh, we gotta go.
We'll do one quick pic and then you're free.
All right.
I think.
Thank you, guys.
Roxy, can you take a picture of us? Thank you. I like that we're both like 5
Yeah, this is a tough one.
You dead inside?
Yeah. You gotta do
I'm
pizza.
just a little bit tired.
Oh,
A little bit.
We've been going for like 9 hours.
I'm gonna grab my jacket before I forget it. Oh, and the battery over here. All right, we're ditching this on entirely. It's the Marcy show. Oh God. Oh, we have Summer's guy's charger. Can you give this thing? It's not dying. I was packing up.
Okay, well, I think we can end the broadcast at this point. It's been
Probably.
a million hours.
Okay, let me just pick up the camera. Hold on. Okay.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I didn't know what to expect, and it was, I think it was spectacular. You know, if this is not a devastating consequence for the campaign, hopefully maybe we'll do more of this kind of stuff for others as well. Obviously, we got a big, busy week. I'll be back at home base tomorrow, live a little bit later than I usually am, but I'll be live nonetheless. Love you guys for coming along the journey and seeing how the sausage gets made. And I can't wait to see what kind of fucking nonsense people have written about all of the events that unfolded today, because, you know, we were in the heart of it. And of course, once again, you know, shout out to Summer Lee, Rashida Tlaib, Abdul El-Sayed, every single person that works behind the scenes on this campaign. Yeah, it was a great experience. You know, remember, open up those wallets, give to Abdul as well, because he's got a big battle against them. He's got a big hill to climb. Anyway.